You've spent years training. Finally, you launch and you make history. But what if you can't come home? It's a nightmare scenario, astronauts stuck in space. Not in science fiction, but in real missions, with real lives on the line. Some were grounded by system failures, others by shattered governments or micrometeoroids the size of a pebble. One even chose to stay for over a year. From Cold War cosmonauts to modern test pilots, the question remains, what really happens when Earth can't bring its astronauts home? This is the story of the men and women who were stranded in space. On June 5, 2024, astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore launched aboard Boeing's Starliner, a mission meant to prove the capsule's crew readiness for NASA. Scheduled to last just 8 days, the mission docked successfully with the International Space Station. But almost immediately, the problems began. Engineers detected 5 separate helium leaks in the propulsion system. Even worse, 5 of the 28 thrusters failed during critical maneuvers. NASA made an unprecedented call. Starliner may be sent back to Earth without its crew. The mission stretched from days into months, with no safe return window in sight. Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore remained aboard the ISS, trapped in technical limbo and in history, as Starliner's first crewed mission teetered on failure.
No, I don't think I'm abandoned. I don't think we're stuck up here. We've got food, we've got clothes, we have a ride home in case anything really bad does happen.
Finally, on March 18, 2025, after 9 months in space, they touched down safely off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida. The mission was over, but it raised serious questions about Boeing's spacecraft reliability and what it really means to trust your life to a machine. On May 18, 1991, Sergei Krikalev launched from Baikonur Cosmodrome aboard Soyuz TM-12 headed for the Mir space station. His mission was a routine 5-month rotation for the Soviet space program. But while Krikalev orbited above, everything below began to unravel. The Soviet Union collapsed, the ruble devalued, and Mir's next crew never arrived. Ground control couldn't afford a rescue, and so Krikalev was asked to stay, not once, but twice. He agreed, quietly extending his mission day by day. By the time he returned on March 25, 1992, he'd spent 311 days in space and landed in an entirely different country than the one he launched from. Later he reflected, "They said the country I left no longer exists." And for a moment, neither did his way home. On September 21, 2022, NASA astronaut Frank Rubio launched aboard Soyuz MS-22. For what was supposed to be a 6-month stay on the International Space Station. But just 3 months in, disaster struck. A micrometeoroid pierced the Soyuz radiator system. The coolant leaked into space, rendering the capsule unsafe for re-entry. With no return vehicle, Rubio had no choice but to wait. A replacement Soyuz wouldn't arrive for another 6 months. His mission stretched to 371 days, the longest spaceflight in US history.
Rubio's record ride comes to an end.
If they had told me I'd be in space for a year, I probably would have declined. And yet he endured. He left Earth for a routine stay and returned home as a reluctant record breaker. On January 8, 1994, Russian cosmonaut Valeri Polyakov launched aboard Soyuz TM-18 bound for the Mir space station. Unlike others in this story, he wanted to stay. His mission was to study psychological and physiological effects of deep space isolation, a critical step for eventual Mars travel. Over the next 437 days, Polyakov orbited the Earth more than 7,000 times, conducting experiments on muscle loss, bone density, and the human mind under extreme confinement. When he returned in March 1995, he refused help standing. He walked from the capsule to prove the human body can return from space strong. His record still stands. No one has ever spent more time in space in a single stretch by choice. In space, isolation isn't a side effect, it's the environment. For Krikalev, it meant watching his country vanish beneath him. For Rubio, it was a year away from his family, unplanned. For Polyakov, it was the ultimate medical experiment in solitude. And for Williams and Wilmore, it was trusting new technology and learning it wasn't ready. These weren't catastrophic failures, they were quiet, complex delays, political, mechanical, even cosmic. And for the people living through them, time becomes strange. Earth keeps spinning, but you're stuck watching it from the outside. To launch into space is to put your life in the hands of technology, geopolitics, and luck. And sometimes, space doesn't let you come home. Subscribe for more, and as always, stay curious.